You know that feeling, right? Scrolling through your bank statement, maybe just casually glancing,
Yeah.
and then your eyes lock onto that one category, maybe it's restaurants or online shopping, and you just get this wave of financial shock.
Oh, yeah, the "I spent how much" moment.
Exactly. I spent that much. You're definitely not alone there. Our research shows people routinely underestimate spending in those flexible spots. Eating out coffee by as much as 30, even 50%, that's a huge blind spot.
It really is. Massive.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into what I think is one of the most powerful financial habits you can build: tracking your spending.
Mhm.
It's so much more than just trying to stick to a budget.
Absolutely.
Our mission today is basically to cut through the noise, give you a shortcut to understanding the best ways to really see where your money's going, find those sneaky financial
Those
leaks,
leaks? Yeah.
and ultimately just feel more in control of your cash. We've pulled together some great material that lays out practical methods, crucial insights, really get you started.
And you hit on such a critical point there, control. It's often missed, I think, that making a budget, well, it's a great first step, sure,
Right.
but it's only really effective if you have an honest, um, an unvarnished picture of your actual spending.
Without tracking.
Yeah.
It's just guessing, isn't it?
It's pure guesswork. You're
Yeah.
building a house on sand. Tracking gives you that solid foundation. It pinpoints where the money actually goes.
Okay.
And that lets you make informed decisions, right? Where to cut back,
Yeah.
how to avoid overspending, and maybe most importantly, make sure your spending lines up with your priorities.
Yeah, turning those abstract goals into actual steps.
Exactly. Takes the guesswork right out.
That's a powerful shift, moving from guesswork to informed decisions. And it's those little things, the seemingly tiny purchases that add up to that surprise we mentioned.
Oh, definitely.
Have you ever felt that shock? It's amazing how a daily coffee or a quick lunch, maybe a few bucks on an app,
They vanish.
they just vanish. But they add up fast over a month. And the material we looked at confirms those small, almost invisible transactions, often the biggest culprits in blowing the budget.
Right, because they fly under the radar so easily.
Exactly.
And what's really key here, what the research emphasizes, isn't just knowing the number. It's about gaining genuine awareness, fostering accountability.
It's more than just data then.
Much more. It's like self-discovery almost.
Yeah.
That knowledge, it towers you, puts you in the driver's seat.
So you're controlling the money, not the other way around.
Precisely. You stop letting money dictate your choices, and you start using it as a tool to build the life you want. It's active engagement, not just passive watching.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? When it comes to the practical how-to, our sources point to two main paths, right? Digital tools and manual methods.
That's the basic split, yeah.
And what keeps coming up again and again is that there's no single best way. The best system is just the one you'll actually stick with.
That's the golden rule. Consistency above all else.
Right.
It doesn't really matter if you're, super techie and love apps, or if you prefer pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
The key is finding something that fits into your life, something you can make a real habit. Without consistency, even the fanciest method won't give you real insight.
Okay, speaking of fancy, let's dive into digital first. This is where things get really interesting with budgeting apps. They've become such powerful tools.
They really have.
Many of them just connect right up to your bank accounts, your credit card,
Seamless integration, yeah.
and they automatically record everything, often categorizing it for you. So you get this instant picture without saving every single receipt.
It's very convenient.
Yeah, things like Mint or Pocket Guard, the free ones are great starting points. They show you charts, like 25% on food, 10% on transport, a quick visual snapshot.
And even within digital, there's a range. Some apps are great for passive tracking, like you said. Others push you towards more hands-on planning, proactive budgeting.
Okay, like what?
Well, you need a budget, YNAV, uses a zero-based system. So you give every single dollar a job before you spend it.
Ah, okay. So you're directing it up front.
Exactly. You're not just tracking after the fact.
Yeah.
And then there's Good Budget. It digitizes the old envelope method.
Oh, the envelopes, yeah.
Right. You allocate set amounts to these virtual envelopes for groceries, entertainment, whatever. They're more like financial command centers than just trackers.
And it's not just third-party apps either, is it? Lots of banks now have their own built-in trackers.
Increasingly sophisticated ones too, right? In their online banking or mobile apps.
So the big draw for all these digital tools is convenience.
Convenience, absolutely. Automation. Real-time insights. Plus, you can often set up alerts.
Like, tell me if I spend over X dollars on restaurants this month.
Exactly. Like a little financial watchdog working silently in the background.
Okay, practical tip then for someone leaning digital.
Don't be afraid to try a few. Most have free versions or trials. Play around.
Find what clicks.
Find the interface that feels easy, intuitive. Something you can actually see yourself using regularly. Make it frictionless.
That automation is definitely a huge plus.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a downside? Does it make it too easy, maybe? Like, you set it and forget it.
That's a really insightful point. And yes, that is the potential pitfall.
Okay.
While it's super convenient, that very automation can sometimes lead to a set it and forget it mentality if you're not actively engaging with the data.
Just letting the app do its thing.
Right. If you're not reviewing, reflecting on those charts, you might not connect as deeply with your habits. It tells you what you spent, but maybe not the why or the impact.
Have the sources sort of identified behavioral traps linked to that?
They do. It's what you might call passive awareness.
Yeah.
You see the numbers, but you don't necessarily feel them.
Like looking at a gym membership bill but never going.
Exactly like that. The info's there, but the engagement isn't. It can lead to this disconnect where you know the result, but not the decision process behind each purchase.
The brain needs a bit more friction.
A little bit of friction can be good for change. Which neatly brings us to
The power of manual tracking. The old school way, like literally carrying a small notebook and writing down every expense. Or maybe using a basic spreadsheet.
sounds almost quaint, doesn't it, in this digital age? But there's a profound psychological benefit here.
Okay, tell me more.
This is where manual tracking really shines, especially against that passive awareness, the physical act of writing down each transaction.
In a notebook or a spreadsheet.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
It forces you to confront the decision. It's a much deeper, almost kinesthetic engagement with your money.
So writing $50 on takeout sushi hits differently than seeing it on an app.
Often, yes. That's what the sources suggest. That conscious act makes you pause.
Yeah.
It might make you think twice next time because you've already had that little moment of reckoning.
It really boosts awareness and accountability then.
Significantly. In a way, automation sometimes doesn't quite achieve.
So how would that work day to day? Save receipts, write them down at night.
That's one way. Save receipts, take 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the day, log them in your journal or spreadsheet, maybe categorize as you go.
Or use a template, maybe?
Yeah, simple spreadsheet templates can help structure it. But what if someone just finds that so tedious they quit after a week? That's a real concern.
Yeah, maintaining motivation seems tough. What do the sources say?
It's a valid point. The key seems to be start small. Focus on the insight you gain, not just the task itself.
Okay.
Maybe don't aim for perfect daily tracking immediately. Try 3 days a week, or just a weekly review to start.
And the motivation comes from the aha moments.
Exactly. When you realize, wow, I spend that much on impulse buys when I'm stressed, the writing allows that reflection.
Right. Because the app automates it, you might miss that deeper thought process.
You might. Writing it down forces you to review each purchase actively. Builds that awareness muscle, especially if you're new to budgeting or really struggling with overspending.
Takes discipline, though.
It does take discipline, no doubt, but it builds a very strong financial muscle.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting for me. You don't actually have to choose one path, do you?
Not at all.
The material talks about a hybrid approach, combining the best of both.
This is a real game changer for a lot of people. It bridges that gap between convenience and that deep engagement we talked about.
So how does it work?
It's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
You use an app for what it does best.
Yeah.
Automatic data gathering, collects all the transactions, maybe categorizes them, does the grunt work.
Okay, gets the raw data.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Then you intentionally set aside time, maybe 15, 20 minutes once a week, to review that digital data
Mm-hmm.
and manually write out a summary,
Mm.
maybe in a notebook, a budget planner, whatever.
So you get the app's accuracy
Yeah.
plus the insight from writing it down.
Best of both worlds. You get the complete picture from the app, but you also get that personalized insight, that reflection that comes from physically processing it.
So in that weekly review, you're not just copying numbers. What else would you write down?
Great question. That's where the magic is. Beyond numbers, you might know things like, saw a pattern of impulse buys after work when I'm tired.
Okay, behavioral insights.
Right. Or realized I barely used that streaming subscription and had to cancel. You could even jot down how you felt about certain purchases.
Buyer's remorse or satisfaction.
Exactly. Guilt, maybe. That weekly diary becomes a tool for self-reflection, for understanding the why behind the what.
That conscious review, even with digital data, makes it stick more.
It activates different parts of the brain, seems to solidify the learning, and make the insights more lasting than just passively looking at a screen.
So it really comes back to that core message from all the sources, doesn't it? The best method is just the one you stick with.
Absolutely. Consistency is everything. If you hate apps but love journaling, do that. If you'll never write things down but check an app daily, perfect.
It's paramount for any real change.
Totally.
Okay, so what does this all mean practically? What are the concrete steps someone can take, whatever method they choose? Our sources give 5 really good, actionable tips.
Yeah, let's break those down. This is where the rubber meets the road. First, track every single expense for a trial period.
Every penny.
Every penny. Can't stress that enough. Commit to it for at least a month, or maybe just 2 weeks to get your feet wet.
Okay.
But you need a realistic, unbiased picture. And that means including the small stuff. Coffee, parking, gum.
Because it adds up.
It adds up incredibly fast. You need the complete view.
Got it. Tip 2.
Second, review and categorize. After that trial period, sit down with the data. Become a financial detective for your own life.
Okay.
Look through everything, group it into categories that make sense to you. Groceries, eating out, transport, utilities, fund money. Whatever works.
And this shows you where the money's really going.
Vividly. You might be genuinely surprised by some totals. And that surprise is good. It helps identify those budget leaks.
Ah, the leaks again, where you spend way more than you thought.
Exactly. Areas where spending crept up without you noticing.
Okay, third tip.
Third, and this is crucial, recommended by groups like the CFPB, identify wants versus needs.
Ooh, that sounds potentially painful.
It can be eye-opening. As you review each expense, label it, need or want.
So rent is a need.
Rent, utilities, essential groceries, getting to work, childcare usually needs. Wants are the extras.
Daily fancy coffee, streaming services, new gadgets, eating out just 'cause.
Right, discretionary stuff. This exercise forces you to see if your spending aligns with priorities. It shows you where you could cut back if needed.
Okay, makes sense. Fourth.
Fourth, adjust your budget and habits. This is where tracking pays off. Use the data.
Don't just track, act.
Exactly. Knowledge empowers decisions. See, you're spending $100 a month on unused subscriptions. Cancel them. Redirect that money to savings.
Or cook more if eating out is too high.
Precisely. Use the objective data to make informed changes that improve your financial health, and then keep tracking at a level that works for you. Daily check-in, weekly review, monthly audit, whatever keeps you accountable.
And the fifth tip?
Fifth, finally, use tools that truly work for you. We keep coming back to this, right?
Yeah, the consistency thing.
If a slick app makes it easy and you'll actually use it, great. That's your sweet spot. If spreadsheets are your thing, fantastic.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
Not at all. Even the old cash envelope method works for some people. Withdraw cash for certain categories, like eating out. When the envelope's empty, you're done for the month.
Simple, but effective.
The goal, whatever the tool, is awareness and control. Knowing where it goes so you decide, not your impulses.
So you control the spending, it doesn't control you.
That's the essence of it.
Yeah.
So tying it all together, diligent tracking, it just takes the guesswork out of budgeting. It gives you hard numbers, not vague ideas.
Which gives you real control.
A tangible sense of control, yeah. Because you're dealing with reality. It might feel like work at first, like building any new habit.
Like going to the gym.
Kind of. But the sources say it becomes second nature pretty quickly, and people often find it really rewarding, seeing progress, cutting waste, getting closer to goals.
Yes, seeing those savings grow.
It can be very motivating.
That makes sense. At its core, it's really about that principle. Knowledge is power, isn't it?
Fundamentally.
Knowing your habits, understanding the rhythm of your financial life, that's the essential first step to improving things, the foundation.
Couldn't agree more.
So here's a final thought for you to maybe chew on after this deep dive. Think about not just where your money goes, but maybe dig a bit deeper into why it goes there.
Interesting.
What does your spending reveal about your actual priorities, your values, maybe even emotional triggers or habits you were aware of?
That's a deep question.
Yeah. And are those patterns really lining up with the kind of life you genuinely want to build? We'd encourage you to reflect on that deeper layer, that financial awareness, because that's where the real transformation can start.